Hi guys, welcome to my channel. This is Rashmi and today I'm going to show you how to make this granny square with bobble heart. For this tutorial I will be using this double knit red color yarn and a 5.5mm crochet hook. So to start off I'm going to make a slip knot. You go ahead and use any method that you like, but I'm going to show you one anyways. So hold on to the end of the yarn here while wrapping it around your fingertip like this. Pick the yarn on the left, move it over to the right. Let's do this one more time. Pick the one on the left, move it over to the right, but slip it off your fingertip in the process. Let's grab hold of these two and pull it down. This creates my slip knot. I'm going to put my crochet inside and tighten this loop by pulling on this end of the yarn. From here we're going to chain 20. To do this, yarn over your crochet like this and pull through the loop. That's 1, yarn over, pull through the loop 2, yarn over, pull through, that's 3. So just like this, go ahead and do 20 chains. I now have my 20 chains here. From here on, I'm going to be working in single crochets throughout this square. So we are going to skip the very first chain and slip our crochet into the next one. This first chain is going to be our turning chain. So slip your crochet in the second one from the crochet, just the top part, yarn over and pull up a loop. Yarn over and pull through both loops. This is a single crochet. All of this square will be done in single crochets. Stick your crochet in the second chain here and pull up a loop. Yarn over, pull through both loops in one go. Just like this, you're going to keep going and finish this whole row of single crochets. I'm at the end of this row of single crochets and we are going to need 3 more of these single crochet rows. So we are going to start each row by chaining 1 and turning our work around like this. Stick your crochet in the very first stitch here as your chain 1 and pull up a loop. Yarn over, pull through both loops. Let's go into the next stitch. When you put your crochet through, make sure that you're putting your crochet through 2 loops like this, okay? Both of these make a V shape and that shows you that this is one of your stitches. So pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through both. Follow the same method and finish 3 more rows, so making the total count of rows to 4. I'll see you at the end of row 4. I'm now at the end of 4 rows of single crochets with total count of 19 stitches. We're going to go on to the next row, chain 1 and turn your work around like this. Let's start off by putting a single crochet in the same space as your chain 1. There's 1. We're going to follow this on with 8 more single crochets to make the total count to 9. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. In the 10th stitch, we're going to have a bobble stitch. To do a bobble stitch, you're going to have a double crochet cluster. Let's follow this method together. Okay, so we're going to yarn over your crochet and in the next stitch, we're going to put our crochet through and pull up a loop. Yarn over and go through only the first 2 loops. Now we have 2 loops on our crochet. We are going to leave them as they are and we're going to go ahead and follow the same method again. Yarn over, go into the same loop and pull up a loop. Yarn over, go through only the first 2. We have 3 loops now. We're going to carry on with this process until we have 5 loops. So let's go ahead, yarn over, go into this section, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through only the first 2. 4 loops now, last one, yarn over, into the same space we go and pull up a loop. Yarn over, pull through only the first 2. Now we have 5 loops on our crochet and when you have 5 you're going to yarn over and pull through all 5 in one go. And we're going to chain 1 to close this stitch off. From here we're going to do 1 single crochet in the very next stitch right here, okay? So that kind of brings the bobble stitch out, so it makes it stick out when you pull that down. From here you should have 8 more single crochet spaces left, so 8 more stitches. So go ahead and do 1 single crochet in every single space. At the end of this row, you should have 9 single crochets, a bobble stitch, and 9 single crochets. Let's turn this row around. So we're going to chain 1 and start working on top of this row now. So this next row is going to have single crochets in every single stitch here. So we're going to have 9 single crochets here, 9 single crochets here, and one of them will be sitting on top of this bobble stitch. Okay, so let's go ahead and start our first single crochet in the same space as our chain 1. That's 2 single crochets, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So the 10th single crochet is going to be on top of this stitch. So we're going to put a crochet in the top part of this stitch, put it through, and pull up a loop. Yarn over, pull through both loops like this. Now the next one starts right next to this, okay, right here. We're going to go ahead and do single crochet there and follow on with 8 more single crochets and 9 all together. Okay. Now that completes this round. We're going to start the next round again with chain 1, turn the work around, start off by having 1 single crochet in the same space as your chain 1, and this is again going to be a row of bobble stitches. So in this one, we are going to start off with 7 single crochets, a bobble stitch, 3 single crochets, bobble stitch, and then 7 single crochets. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. After the 7th one, we have a bobble stitch in the next one. Let's go through this one more time, how to do a bobble stitch. So yarn over your crochet, go into this section and pull up a loop. Yarn over, pull through only the first 2. Yarn over, back into the same stitch and pull up a loop. Yarn over, only go through the first 2. We have 3 loops on our crochet at the moment. We're going to follow the same process until we have 5. That's 4 now, and for the last time, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops only. Once you have 5 loops, you're going to yarn over, pull through all 5 loops in one go, and chain 1 to close this stitch. We're going to follow this on with a single crochet in the very next stitch, and 2 more single crochets after that. So 3 single crochets all together. Now from here, in the next stitch, you're going to do another bobble stitch, follow on with 7 single crochets, and you should be at the end here. I'll meet you back here. At the end of this round, we still have a total count of 19 stitches and 3 bobble stitches all together. Okay, now the next round, chain 1, turn the work around, and we're going to go ahead and do 1 single crochet in every single stitch. Just to remind you, we're going to have 7 single crochets here, 1 on top of the bobble stitch, 3 in the middle, 1 on top of this bobble stitch, and 7 on this side again. Okay, altogether 19 single crochets. So I'll see you at the end. I'm at the end of this round now. We're going to turn the work around after doing chain 1. Here we go. Start off by doing a single crochet in the same place as your chain 1, and follow this on with 4 more single crochets, so making the total count of single crochets to 5. That's 2, 3, 4, and 5. Next stitch is going to have a bobble stitch. Let's do that together. Yarn over, go into the space, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through first 2. We have 2 loops on our crochet. We're going to repeat the same process until we have 5 loops. That's 3, that's 4, and 1 more time, and that's 5. Yarn over, pull through all 5, chain 1, and we're going to have 7 single crochets in the middle, another bobble stitch, and then 5 single crochets. Okay, so go ahead and do that, and I'll see you at the end of this round. At the end of this round, we have a total of 19 stitches still, and altogether 5 bobble stitches. Okay, from here, chain 1, and we're going to turn our work around and go on top of all of these stitches and have 1 single crochet. Be mindful to have 1 on top of these bobble stitches as well, and 1 in every single other stitch as well. Total count still will be 19 at the end here. I'll see you there. I'm now at the end of this row. Next row is going to have bobble stitches again. So chain 1, turn your work around. In this one, we are going to have 3 single crochets, a bobble stitch, 11 single crochets, a bobble stitch, and 3 single crochets again. Okay, so let's do the first part together. That's 1, 2, and 3. We're going to make the bobble stitch in here, yarn over, go into that same space, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through first 2 loops on our crochet. Let's keep going until we have 5. That's 2, 3, 4, and for last time 5. Yarn over, pull through all 5 in one go, chain 1. We're going to follow this with 11 single crochets, a bobble stitch, and 3 single crochets. I'll see you at the end of this round. I'm at the end of this row with 19 single crochets. We're going to chain 1 and we're going to turn our work around. In this stitch, we are going to have a total of 3 bobble stitches, okay? So we're going to start off with 3 single crochets in a row. That's 1, 2, and 3. And in the next stitch, we're going to have a bobble stitch. Yarn over, go into this space, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through first 2. Yarn over, same space we go again, and keep repeating this process until we have 5 loops on our crochet. Just like this. So yarn over, pull through all 5 in one go, chain 1 to close this stitch, and we're going to do single crochets again, and we're going to have 5 single crochets all together. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. In the 6th stitch, we are going to have another bobble stitch. Yarn over, go into that space and make a bobble stitch. Chain 1 to close this stitch, and from here we're going to have 5 single crochets, another bobble stitch, and 3 single crochets. I'll see you at the end here. At the end of this row, we have a total count of 10 bobble stitches and 19 stitches still. The next row is of all single crochets. So go ahead and do this whole row of single crochets, and I'll meet you back here with total of 19 stitches. Okay, I'm at the end of this row with total of 19 stitches. Okay, chain 1 and turn your work around. Now this is your last row of bobble stitches. Okay, so we're going to start off with first single crochet in the same place as chain 1 right here. Okay, follow this by 4 more single crochets to make the total count 5. So that's 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, in my 6th stitch right here, I'm going to have another bobble stitch. Yarn over, go into that same stitch and pull up a loop, yarn over, go through first 2 loops, just like this. Repeat the process until you have 5 loops on your crochet. Okay, yarn over, go through all 5 loops, chain 1 to close this stitch. We're going to have 1 single crochet in the next space like this. Now we're going to have another bobble stitch in the very next space here. And the last time, there we are. Okay, yarn over, go through all 5 in one go, and chain 1 to close this stitch. Now we're going to have 3 single crochets in the very next 3 stitches. Okay, that's my first one, second, and my 3rd stitch. Okay, now in the 4th stitch, go ahead and do another bobble stitch. Okay, yarn over, pull through all 5 loops and chain 1 to close this stitch. Okay, single crochet in the very next stitch, and follow this on with another bobble stitch in the very next stitch there. Yarn over, go through all 5 loops, chain 1 to close this stitch. Now we should have 5 stitches left, and in each of these stitches we're going to have 1 single crochet. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and my last one is 5 right there. Now chain 1 to turn your work around, and let's take a look. Okay, this has completed our heart on our square, but we are going to complete the square part of it. Okay, so we started with 4 single crochet rows, okay, and we're going to finish with 4 single crochet rows as well. So go ahead and do 4 rows of single crochets, and I'll tell you what to do with your ends. I've now completed 4 rows of my single crochets. Okay, now to just close this off, we're going to chain 1 and pull a long bit of yarn out. Go ahead and snip this and pull this through the loop. Now I'm going to go ahead, get my darning needle and weave these ends in. So to do this, I'm going to, using the darning needle, we're going to go on the top part of these stitches, okay? So just in a zigzag manner, like this, go in and out of these stitches, okay, making your little bits that you come out kind of nice and small, okay? And stick this in. Pull this back to its original place, and I'm going to go ahead and snip this off as well. Just like this, you're going to do the same thing with this end as well. So this is my end product. If you enjoyed making this with me, make sure to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe.